Hey guys, my name is Hal. I'm from Queens, New York, and I'm currently living in Tokyo. So I'm gonna be showcasing you guys my final project. And my final project is called Inventory. It's basically a inventory management system designed for small companies to keep track of their inventory as well as their revenues, expenses, and profits. So here is the register. A user has to be registered and approved by the admin in order to log in because you don't want random people to be able to access your inventory data. So here you can enter your information and submit, which will send the data to the database to be approved by the administrator. And if an account hasn't been if an account is registered but not yet approved by the admin, it will show that this account is not yet approved. So let's log in with an account that has already been approved. So once you log in, you will reach the index of the application, which displays a table of all the items. And here is the search function, and you can search by its item ID. So for example, this item, you can search for 15, it will show up. You can search by any words in its name. For example, cartoon, it will show up. And you can search for any words in the keyword. So for example, kitty, it will also show up. And you can even search for all three together. So for example, 15 cartoon kitty, it will display. And yeah, and once you click into a row, so for example, it will display the item details on the left and any past transactions on the right. So the functionality is basically on here. You can edit the item, you can change its image, its tags, and its stocks and things like that. Here you can buy in any item, and here you can sell any item, and you can choose your sell currencies, and any transaction will be reflected on the right. So for example, let's say if I were to sell this item for 150 yuan, then you can add two notes, and I can say purchased by Rachel. It will display in the notes here, and you can see it shows up on the transaction right here. And on the transaction column, you can edit the transaction. So for example, let's say instead of one, I sold two. So it's going to be 300 rand. It will turn yellow to show you that this transaction has been edited. And you can also reverse this transaction. So I can say Richard returned. Then this transaction will turn red, and it will be logged on to the notes as well. And here are the filters. So if you want to search for any transactions, for example, you want to search for only buy, and maybe July, or maybe, yeah, since all of them are in July, it's basically yeah. or I guess you can search by the status. You can see edited, none of them, normal, those two, and if you search for reversed, then these will display. And also here is the annual, so in which you can add any item, search its choose its material, and add the item image and any tags associated with the item, and it will show up on the items right here. And just for display purposes, so for example, into this item, I'll search for only June transactions, for July, maybe, so yeah. And then there's also these transaction page, which will show you all the transactions. And here is also the search bar, which you can search by its name or its transaction ID. And here you can also log any additional expenses or revenues, such as shipping or things like that. And here's the filter. So how this works is that you can filter any items. You can do that either by input or by using the filter tabs right here. So for example, if I only want to show how much dotted flower sets I bought, then I can do dotted, and it will display all transactions for this item, and I can filter it down by only. And maybe if I only want the data from June, and you can see it. So I link this to an external API that calculates your that converts your currency based on real-time conversion rates. So this item's transaction is done in yen, but if I want to change it to yuan, then as you can see, it automatically converts. So for example, if I want, let's say I want all data from June, then you maybe in yen, you can see the expenses, income, and profit. And you can click into the item to reach the item page as well. And the last page in my application will be the registrants. So this page is only visible and accessible by admin users. So in this page, it displays all registered users for this application. So here is all the approved users which can be logged in, and here are the registered users that hasn't been approved. And the actions you can take against those users is to approve them as user or approve them as admin, or you can delete the user if like you don't know who this guy is. So yeah, so I guess that sums up my application. Yeah, so thank you guys for listening.